So during the quarantine, we all tried to be as creative and make the most out of the situation. One of my clients are the Austrian producer duo, the global Deejays, famous from their hit in the early 2000s. And for them, musicians, DJs, it obviously made sense to do live streams. But obviously there were some failures. And today on FailSmarter, we're going to talk about exactly those failures. So first of all, I'm happy to inform you that the live streams themselves were actually not failures at all. They got us some great engagement, around 2,000 views per live stream. They got us good engagement from existing fans, and we also got some new people discovering them via Facebook suggestion function. So all in all, it actually went quite well. But there were two things that went a little bit wrong that we can learn from, and we're going to look at those now. So what went wrong? First of all, it is the promotion aspect on Facebook itself. Obviously, the reach being as it is these days, you don't just want to have these announced organically, you want to make sure that actually a lot of people see them, so you do run ads on them. And Facebook has this kind of thing for the posts about live streams, the announcement posts. They have a nice button that says, remind me once the live stream starts. So that's pretty perfect. And as anybody who runs Facebook ads knows, these kind of posts, it is great to run engagement campaigns on them. People are gonna see them, click on them, hopefully be reminded of the live streams and then watch them. And this actually worked really great in the first half of April. But we were doing these live streams every other week, and after a few weeks, suddenly Facebook took away this possibility. Suddenly it was not possible to run engagement campaigns on announced live streams anymore. This is the usual Facebook game of arbitrarily changing their functionalities and rules without even knowing it. I spent some time with the Facebook live chat support, and even they were not aware of this change happening, but apparently it happened. So now you cannot run engagement campaigns on these type of posts anymore. So that kind of took away one of our main traction tools. The other thing that happened is that obviously these are professional DJs. So they play their mixtapes of different artists in their mixes during their live sessions. But Facebook has a quite strict digital rights management, DRM kind of tool, that every once in a while the sound would cut out because Facebook had the alert that some pirated music was being streamed, which of course doesn't really make much sense because these are professional musicians who pay their membership fees and licenses. But Facebook did not know that, and so we had to deal with interruptions in the live streams and these kind of issues at the start because nobody expected these issues to come up in this heavy way. So these were the two kind of small fails that we experienced during these live streams. So what do we learn from this? So in the promotional side, one main lesson is, never rely too much on one feature of these advertiser giants, because Facebook can always change their rules from one day to the next, and if you become too reliant on one certain feature or aspect of them, you might be regretting it afterwards. What we in the end ended up doing is we made events for each of the live streams, and we ran engagement campaigns on the events, and people would then click on attend at the event, and then they would get a notification again as soon as the live stream would start. So that was our little workaround. Didn't work as effectively as the engagement campaigns worked, but it was all right. But in the end, it shows you that you always need to have a plan B in mind and always need to be flexible, because you just never know when these rules change without announcement, without any real reason, because it's in Facebook's interest that people do live streams, and it's in Facebook's interest that they actually run ads on them. So I don't know what the logic here is, but as marketeers, as growth hackers, as performance people, we need to be aware of it and we need to adapt, because that's just the way the game is played. The other thing is in regards to the digital rights management, we learned that Facebook is seemingly quite strict, more strict perhaps than YouTube. So what we learned is that on live streams on Facebook, it's good to have a lot of original self-created tracks so that there's no digital right management issues possible. And perhaps for new streams where there's a lot of copyrighted songs by other artists, we might just take the safe route and play the live stream on YouTube, where the digital rights management is more established and more stably working. So yeah, these were my experiences and our experiences with the world of live streams during the quarantine. We basically were running these from early April until mid or late June, because that's when kind of the hype around live streams got less again. People starting to go outside again, have parties outside, so live streams kind of performed quite well during the actual shutdown months, and then as the summer started, it got weaker again. But I think it was nice while it lasted. It gave us some good engagement for the existing global DJs community, which is really all around the world, in Brazil, in Ukraine, in Central Europe. So I think for engaging these audiences, it was a nice thing to do. And I do hope we can do these once in a while, because I think it's a nice tool to have, especially with what we have learned now. So yeah, I hope this was an interesting story of failures in the world of music live streaming. If you have any similar experiences, please do share them. And yeah, I'll be back with more fails soon. Keep failing and have a great day.